Okay, hi guys. I wanted to quickly, I was doing this and I was just doing it off camera and I was like, you know what? This would be a really good thing to show you guys if you're struggling with a queen. Now mine isn't struggling, however, I'm cutting off rotten import roots, okay? You can see the plant has, in my care, grown a lot of new secondary roots. However, I'm going and I'm isolating. You can see here, here's all the death. See how what difference it looks? The difference between the two. Wow, words. But you see how this is like nice and light. And I'm just going through and I'm isolating roots individually and cutting off rotten secondary roots, because when it travels, it takes quite a hit when it arrives that it ends up losing all those roots that it shipped with, and then regrowing roots. Let me move this quick. So what I've been doing is I've been taking out individual long roots like this. You can see it's all damaged stuff. There's my hair. There we go. All right, so these you can see here, look at this healthy roots right here too. And then you can see there's bad roots, right? So what you want to do is isolate these individually so you're not overwhelmed. I put it in a cup and I take out the roots I want to work with. And then all you do is you go through with your shears. I should have propped this up, but I didn't. But anyways, so, and then you just go and you just literally cut off all of the death, because else it's just going to rot, right? You don't want to have rotten roots in your planter. It's hard for me to do this with one hand. Let me see if I can prop this on this. No. But like this is all pretty yucky. So I want to feel it too. This is very squishy. So I'm going to cut it off right underneath where this secondary root is growing, right here, and just remove all of the dead yucky roots. And I'll do that. I'll section out each root, clean it up. I've done these ones up here. You can see nice and cleared off, and then I'll rinse the plant. And what I typically do, if this is not a rehab, this is my own, and he's fine, he's happy. Look at it, he's happy. He has 5 leaves, 4 leaves. They're all healthy, all happy. However, I did have some that didn't do so good. So you can see this guy had 0 roots. He had a giant chunk here, and he had this growth point off of this chunk, and I buried it in a stratum and pond mix. You can see there. And so he had no roots, and now you can see he has a root right here. I just gave him water. I let him dry out, honestly. I let him go completely dry. All the stratum in here, you can see it gets dry, and then I will squirt a little bit on the top, and then I will fill the bottom. You can see I fill the bottom because, or squirt through the top, because some of the fluval particles are down, or stratum particles are down at the bottom. So seeing this root here is a really good sign, because this guy struggled, and I didn't think he was going to make it. So, and then here you can see he's pushing out new growth, which is really exciting, isn't it? But that's not the only, and that's a super narrow. This isn't the only begonia. This isn't the only queen I've put in here. So I have this guy as well. Look at that, beautiful. It is a perfect leaf. No roots. He had 0 roots. I don't know if he has any now. I haven't like looked. I did just fill him up today, but he had 0 roots. You can see some dead roots in there. But he hasn't lost this leaf, and he is growing another one. So, oh, there, look. He's got some aerial or upper roots. I wouldn't say they're really aerial. But they really, really, really like, if you're struggling with your queen, put them in a stratum pond mix. I'm telling you, you can't go wrong with it. They really like that balance. I haven't had any issues. This one was also out the door. Sorry, it's kind of a cluster in here. This one was also out the door. Let me set him down. I'm going to drop him. So I had listed these a while ago, showing that they were pretty rough and that they were going to be on a sale for a rehab bundle. But I ended up not selling them and deciding to figure out a good rehab technique for them, and then I can share it. So again, this guy is in a stratum pond mix here. And his root, you can see the green there. He's healthy. I don't see a lot on the sides, but the fact that he's maintained these 3 leaves, albeit a little wonky, but that's a very beautiful dark leaf there, and it's pretty big. So they seem to really like this combination of substrates. So if he's kind of coming out of here too. I need to put his root is like pushing him out, I think. Let's first get rid of this yucky one because he's just in my way. And I'm just gonna get my nail out of the video. Just gonna cover him slightly. His new leaf is gonna come out there, so we have to watch for when that's gonna start because he's kind of clipped off here, and I don't want to lift him because if I lift him too much, he's gonna pop out. You see, he's gonna pop out here, and I don't really want him to pop out. I wish I had those clips that clip him down, but I don't have any right now, so I have to just watch and make sure that that new leaf doesn't start coming in and get squished. So, and then I will also, because I just put dry substrate here, I'm just going to wet it for that root that was right there. Just a little bit, because it is wicking through this filter wick. And then I'll put him back and I'll just watch him. But he is doing really good, and I'm really, really glad that we haven't seen any, what's it called? We haven't seen any, what's the word? Regression? No. What is the word, you guys? What is the word? I don't know. I forgot. Signs of yuck. I don't know what the word I'm looking for is. I don't know. But I also put my begonia in this combination, and my begonia really, really, really like it. I just put a Patriciae. My mom was killing it. And I'm going to see if this helps it. It has really good, I had to cut it. This is what the bottom looks like. I had to cut it, and it had 3 really good aerial roots on the top part of the stem, and the bottom part of the stem was pretty like shriveled and dried, which I see a lot with my Pally that I import. Fortunately, they are kind of a more difficult plant, in my opinion, that I've dealt with importing them. So not shocked to see that happen. But so I'm hoping that also works for, did I say Pally? I'm sorry, my Patriciae. I didn't mean to say Pally. My Patriciae, my Patricia. But so we'll see. We'll see if it helps, because I would love to have him regenerate roots and just kind of structurally get a little bit more repaired. But yeah, so basically, if you're trying to rehab your queen, just clean it up. I will put it in, I don't know what planter I want to put it in. I think I want to put it in my clear one, or I was thinking of putting it in Naked Roots. But then if I put it in one of these, I have to be very careful with its care, which I don't know that I want to do with my queen. So I might put it in here where I can actually monitor, and I may even put it in my mix. So we'll see, because they seem to like it, although the mature ones don't really mind being in just the pon. I have a couple in the other part of my house. So yeah, just make sure you clean it up and make sure you're not cutting off any of these delicious new secondary roots, because they are going to keep this plant alive for you, especially after what I've done, which is shook it around and like just disrupt it. But it is a very beautiful plant, you can see here. So I'm excited to see what its next leaf will be. All right, and I guess that's it for this, but maybe I'll take a quick video once he's potted up, and just to show you what he looks like in the setup that I decide on, I guess. So yeah, we'll see that then. All right, here he is done. Isn't he so pretty? And I have all of the roots cleaned up. I'm going to put them in a little fresh water, rinse them off, maybe add a little hydrogen peroxide into the water, and then fill up his reservoir. Look at that, it's so pretty. Okay, I've cleaned them up. I made quite the mess. I do have here, I'm going to show you how much I used for, I don't usually use hydrogen peroxide, I'm not going to lie, for rehabs anymore. I just clean their soil and replant them and water it carefully. But for this guy, I'm going to show you. So I put about this much of hydrogen peroxide in here. So that's about 1 inch, maybe, yeah, about 1 inch. I would say about 1 inch, maybe 1.5 inches, or maybe 1/2 inch. And then the rest is with my Berkeley water from my tower. And I'm just going to have them soak in here just for a little bit. See all that loose, dead root. Just let it clear off, shake it in there, give it a rinse, and then he should be ready to be potted up. What you can do too is I'll add a little bit more water, and I'll actually add a drop of Super Thrive. So literally just 1 drop, and let him get a few vitamins in him while he's sitting here, okay? Okay, I am going to go ahead and use one of these. I really like working with clear inserts. I like to monitor my roots, and this is the only way you can do that. Yes, come here. What's up? Do you want to say hi? Oh, yeah. I want to say hi. Hi, say hi. Hi, guys. I'm Misty. To like crunch myself over. Say hi. Why are you so mau-mau? Why are you so mau-mau? Yeah. All right, now, goodbye. Okay, so I have my clean pon. I like to use a mixture of Basement's pon, and I linked them in the bottom. You can get 15% off from them with my code down below. I put this in all my mixes. Literally, all my mix has it. I don't like just Lechuza by itself. I like a less dense rock, and this offers me, well, that, right? Because look, you can see there's smaller and bigger rocks, so it offers good aeration with your pon. I don't like just the small rock all compacted in here. I like to have those bigger spaces. So I'm going to put that mixture in here. I'm going to lift up my wick a little bit. I hear you. And I'm just going to fill around my wick. And then I'm just going to pull it down a smidge. And I just make sure that that wick is completely covered. You don't want your wick showing because you don't want roots on that wick. Okay. So it should be just completely covered up in here. And then my queen is ready to come in here. I'm just going to give it a shake to make sure we got all that yuck off. And here she is. Okay. So I'm going to put her in here. I like that all the roots are against the edges. I want to be able to watch these roots to make sure they're not starting to brown on me after a repot. It's very important that you can watch your plant after a repot, because that is the most crucial time to watch for continued rot, let's say, and vice versa. Well, not really vice versa. I don't know why I said that. My brain wasn't thinking there. But I keep losing the smaller pon out of this pot. I need like a non-mesh planter for this. And I rinse and wash all my pon, okay? I really, really say this with complete conviction. Do not use pon that you have not rinsed. It's just a really good idea to rinse it. And I know they say you don't need to, but you do need to, okay? I would rinse it. If I've shown you anything in my videos, I've shown you how gross they can look when rinsing them, okay? So just try if you can. If you have a hose outside, get a colander like this, a strainer, as most people say. I just fill around. I don't press down. I will like move my fingers and try and fill in edges, but I won't necessarily press into the mix. You don't want to compact it. Okay, you don't want to compact it. Now my pon is dry, So what have we what have we learned? What have we learned, students? What have we learned if we're working with a dry pon? And it's going into a wicking tub. So here is the roots. You can see it so nicely. Let's give it a little bit of a spanking. So we have less of holes down there. Well, they might dry out too much, or they don't want to. That's fine. We will just sacrifice them. They will be fine, actually. I don't know why I'm pretending like we're going to sacrifice them. But I will... Oh, yeah, I didn't answer the question, did I? Oh, my God, I can never get these out. Oh. All right, here you can see what I'm doing because I'm, like, struggle busting it. Oh, fudge cakes. Good Lord. Guys, it just sounded like I took a poop. I didn't. It was very intense. All right, so what have we learned? Today, class, what have we learned? When we work with a dry substrate, you know my plant has just been soaking in water, right? So it's drank up some water, especially queens. They have a thicker root system. I wouldn't say the thickest of Anthurium, but they do have a very juicy root system. So we're going to take, I'm going to fill it up with really fresh water. Don't ever use tap water. I can't stress that enough. I know I say it every time. I know I say it every time. There's a reason. I don't want to scratch my table. But let's turn this just a little bit so you can see the queen, because she's the best. Okay, we're unrinsed. So this is the foliage focus. So just make sure you're not being lazy and you get rid of mistakes, because we really don't. And queens like to eat. Okay, they're hungry plant. Silica, they like it's good. Am I? But yeah, so we're filling up. Oh my. She just squat everywhere. So this is a 250 milliliter. You saw I just dripped in foliage focus and silica, okay? And then we're going to take our queen, and it is a dry substrate with a plant that has been sitting in water. A plant that predominantly drinks and stores water in their root system. So we're going to gently, now they don't like being dry for long, queens. So I'm just pouring it over, okay? And you can see it's still, yeah, hang on, honey, I'm making a video. Yeah? Okay. So, and then I'm just going to tip it towards you so that this water runs down those sides, We're basically just trying to get the substrate a little bit moist so that when it sits in my cabinet, it's not going to destroy the roots. So we do have a little bit here at the bottom. That moisture will just get distributed through the rest of the rock. So you can see here. Okay. So it will get distributed through the rock over the next couple hours, and it will create a really nice moisture barrier within the substrate so that the plant isn't going to dry out too much. And then I'll put it back, and there's only a tiny bit in here. I'm going to leave this tiny bit in here just because I don't want my queen to completely dry. But do not fill your reservoir. Do not fill your reservoir. I keep seeing people telling people to fill their reservoirs, and it boggles my brain cells, okay? If you are first planting in a plant, you don't need to fill the reservoir. You are going to kill your plant. You will kill your plant. And that goes with these as well, guys. When you're working with one of these from Naked Root that I talked about, when you first put your plant in here, you want to give it a little bit of water, okay? A little bit. You don't want to fill this up. Your plant is stressed. These plants are stressed. They're not going to be absorbing nutrients. They're not going to be absorbing light. They're not going to be absorbing the water. They're going to be stunted for a little bit because they are stressed. They are jet lagged, essentially, okay? They're plant jet lagged. So just give them a couple days, then you can fill it up. I wouldn't fill it up completely. This is a lot of water, they say, towards this line. And I love this company. Don't think I'm saying anything. I just promoted them. I literally love their products. Look. Okay? I love them. I'm going to put my big something in there. But just, I would fill it just like half, okay? Because anything sitting in water, no bueno. And I like using pon, and pon is dirty. So I would just fill it to where there's this like inner pot line in here. I would fill it up to that. I wouldn't fill it up to the bottom of the sun, which I think is what they say, but I would just fill it up to the little thing and then watch it, you know, in a couple hours. By the end of the day, if the water is still in here, chuck it, because your plant should have absorbed that through the substrate by that time. So chuck it and then wait for the dry period. Don't let it just sit in water, okay? Now, you can follow their instructions all you want. That's totally your prerogative, up to you. But if you want to follow how I semi-hydro, I just wouldn't let it sit in water. But if you're very confident and you know what you're doing, it's doing it the directions way, you got it, because you know how to watch, you know, when your plants are dry. But anyways, I just wanted to say that, because I know a couple people mentioned to me that they've got these before, months ago, before I ever tried it, and they had like pothos in here and they died. Well, that's a very hard plant to grow semi-hydroponically, because they're very prone to root rot if their soil is consistently over moist. So just a little bit too wet and they will probably rot. And they are very okay and what's the word I'm looking for? Forgiving if you let them dry out, pothos, for example. So they have a chart where they show you snake plants, house plants. In between that, I would put a pothos and alocasia, or not alocasia, philodendron. Anthurium I would put under like normal house plants. Alocasia I would put between fern and house plants. So, you know, I have my own ideas on like how plants should be categorized when it comes to moisture levels, but I deal with semi-hydro a lot. You know, everything in my cabinet semi-hydro. Everything. Been doing it for 2 years. You know, that's how I plant. So just be careful. You saw how I did it in my video. I squirted a little bit. A week later, I filled my pink black velvet, right? You saw that. It was like a week later before I actually filled it up. Filled it up a week later. So you just really want to be cautious, because that was a big change for a plant. And it's gonna, just wanted to throw that out here before I ended this on our queen rehab. Just so you kind of like are aware, because I know can you close your door? Just because I just posted about these, I just wanted to make sure that nobody was going to have anything negative happen to their plants because of that, okay? Hang on, let me go talk to these boys. I will, to finish this off quick, for my queens, let's say tomorrow, or even the next day, let's say Monday, it is Saturday right now, I will give it, you have the line here. I never really put up to the top of the line. I'll do like half. So I'll probably give it half, but because it's a little more dry in here, I might just go over a little bit half and then watch it. My cabinet is going to be, it's a lower temp in there. So it's like 72 to like 68. It's not very warm in my cabinet, but the humidity is obviously higher. So my water is not, my plant isn't going to be transpiring as much. So I'm not going to need to put a lot of water, because it's going to be drinking it a little bit more slowly, and it's going to be transpiring it a little more slow. Does that make sense? Projects. But if you have any questions that you want me to mention that I actually forgot to mention, just ask me and I will write them down, or tell you, or answer you rather. But I will try, I want to post this, but maybe I'll wait till I've refilled this to show you that like day 2 he's fine, you know, and then down the line you'll see him when all of my queens start doing better. I'll maybe do an update and say, look, they're still alive, it worked. But yes, don't forget to go get some basements pon if you work with lechuza. Break up your lechuza with some basements pon. I did have a bag somewhere. It's in the outside. I love it. It's a nice juicy rock and they do really well in it. So yes, so without further ado, my friends, I will be in Miami on Thursday, and Saturday the 21st I will be at the IAS International Aeroid Society show in Miami at the Miami Convention Center. Sydney Plant Guy's gonna be there and I'm gonna lose it. That's okay. Okay, so if any of you are going, me and my group will be walking around in peach shirts, literally with my logo on it. So if you see me, come say hi. I would love that. That would be awesome. But anyways, I'm gonna head out. Let me know if you guys, anybody's going. I'm curious to see how many people are actually going. I'm very, very excited. My mom is coming with me, so can't wait. And I will release a video on our whole experience and fun there, so look for that too. Okay, bye. I'm gonna go. If I can end this. All right, so we are on Tuesday now. I repotted this. I think it was Saturday that I did it. Sunday or Saturday, I don't remember, but I have not refilled it yet, so that's what we're gonna do. I had to redo a whole bunch of stuff in my house, so I got distracted. But he looks like he's still kind of moist, so that's good. And like I said, I wait forever to refill my plants when they get in their new planters. So don't be nervous if you forget. It should still be fine. Let me turn this. But we're going to take a peek. He feels good. Nice firm. You can see he's still upright. Sorry, I got hiccups. I ate some chocolate. But completely dry. So I'm going to set him down. And let me grab the thing again. All right, I'm like putting my labels on it, and my camera just decided we were starting. So I was going to show you here quickly how I add in my concentrates, or my fertilizers, if you will. But I was putting on my new labels I made for my thing, and my camera just like started going. So I will show you anyways, because it decided for me. But for my new water, I'm going to use a 250 milliliter squirt bottle. That's, you might have seen on the video where I was adding in these, and I wrote on the screen how much per 250 milliliters of this. Now I do use an estimated measurement thing here, dropper. So you can see it's 0.25, 0.5, 0.75, and then 1, right? And then I marked an estimated 0.1. Now, of course, you can kind of wing it for the most part. The droppers are going to be the same size. They're going to be the same size within this that are like in this. And then I'm going to get rid of this water and just start fresh. And I'm going to get it out of my filter. My filter tank. I have a Barkley filter tank. All right. Now, of course, we probably would have just wanted to pour in here, you know, but we're going to just do it like this. So I have them all measured out. What I like to add in for my queen here, or most of my plants, honestly, is, but let me first show you her roots. I got distracted. Is she's already grown a few new roots in 2 to 3 days. This one here is new, and this one here has already started growing up. Hang on. There. This one's already started moving upwards, and this one's grown down here. So she's happy, right? The way I did it, it worked, okay? I was so aggressive in that last video. I was very hyped up. I felt really bad that day because I had a customer tell me that she lost like 5 of her plants using the new planter because she followed the directions and instantly put it in this, in the, I had it in the earlier part of the video, but I did actually fill her. This one I barely gave water because I put a tiny plant in a big planter. So I'm just going to basically, with this one, every couple days, do that. Bam, done. But shame, I felt so bad for her because she lost so many plants because, not because these pots are bad. Nuh-uh. They're great. I freaking love them. I have a bunch of them now, and I plan to get more. But it's just the way you approach that. And I did message them about it too, like explaining my thoughts on it, maybe warning people initially, and they might do. I don't remember what I read or not, and I'll go back and read it and make sure after this video, but just to be wary when you start any sort of semi-hydro transition of any kind. You really do want to be careful. Sorry about hiccups. Giving your plant just a tiny bit of water in the actual base itself, and then just leaving it dry for a couple days. Like this is moist, but it's dry. It's been dry in there for 3 days. So, oh God. I almost pooped my pants. And I dropped one. But anyways, whew, that scared me. Yeah, so you just want to be careful. I know I already said that earlier in the video so aggressively. But no, I really love the company. They're amazing. I really appreciate all their help they do for me. Or not for me, but like for people trying to learn and plant easier. I think it's great. But I'm going to first put in some CalMag. Anthurium love calcium and magnesium, specifically magnesium. So it's great to have a little bit more in your NPK in the N area, because this will actually help the plant to absorb nitrogen, I believe. Hang on. I'm fact checking myself, you guys, because I refuse to give anybody bad information. But I'm pretty sure. But it's really, really good for your plant to have in them. Yeah, it does. I'm right. It helps the plant absorb nitrogen, which is that first NPK formula, right? The NPK is the 10-10-10, or like, where's my, the 10-10-10. This is, so that means it's at equal parts of each nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. K for potassium, I think. Yes. Okay. All right. And then you have, which is like foliage focus. I have a video that I'm going to be making up on it later, but you do want to be careful with silica because it can change your pH level. But this is so good for helping with leaves coming out looking nice, not getting warped, not misshapen. It also helps your plant build resilience to too much heat, too much humidity, lower temps even, high temps, low temps, high humidity, low humidity, too much light, less light, not enough light. It helps your plant. And obviously this also boosts the strength of your leaves, and it prevents pests. So, and feel free to fact check me. I am actually like studying all of this right now. It's a lot to absorb. I have a whole like clipboard here of like stuff I'm trying to learn for this, so that I can make a really nice, informative, easy to understand plant video for you guys to understand all this stuff. But I just have to continue that. But anyways, that was so off the charts there. But so we're going to start with our silica, and at the back, maybe you guys want to do this too at home. I have my measurements per thing. So I have per 250, I have per gallon. This is 1,000 milliliters. So I use that a lot, and I measure in there a lot. And I also have, which is 1,500 milliliters, because it's a liter, 1.5 liters. And so I work with this guy as well. So I have, for all 4 measurements, I have on the back of each of my products I use, so that if I'm working with begonia, I know, and I'm using one of these, I know to put in how many milliliters per 250 milliliters. And I do talk about the equation for that in a different video, but we'll get to that. So for silica, for our 250, which I know I already wrote down, is 0.7. So if you want to take your dropper and kind of match it up, so we want about 2 big squeezes of this. 1, 2. Okay? And that's kind of how I've been doing it lately. CalMag, we want to do 0.3. They sound small, but they don't when you have one of these. So this is 0.25 right here. So we'll just do that because it's not that bad. It's not that off, you know? We'll just leave it at that. Super Thrive, just a drop. Always just a drop. And then I like to feed mine Foliage Focus, which here you can see the back. So for 250, I like to use 1.31. It's probably 3 squishies. So we want to go, this one's all freaking messed up. I hate this. All right, so that was, I need to get my other droppers and I got these ones off Temu. I hate them. But essentially we want to do 3. Yeah, I'm going to get I like my pink ones, you guys. I have them linked on my storefront. The pink ones, not these ones. They're these ones. They work great. They squeegee up good. They're great. So those are the 3 things I added in here. I'm not adding in anything else. That's all you need. But I do have like a bunch of different ones that I have. I even have my sledgehammer so that, as you saw in my other video that I did where I teach you to flush, you always want to flush your plants once a month, once every couple months, because you want to flush out an buildup of salts or fertilizers, etc. You want to clear it out, or you're going to get a nutrient lockout. I think that's what you call it. I just say it stops absorbing nutrients because I'm such a basic dummy. But yeah, you get a nutrient lockout and your plant will not eat anymore. So we'll do that. There's a couple things I'm learning right now from actually a couple other people, other channels I found recently. NXCPLANTS. He's just a small channel like me. He has the most beautiful Anthurium. I don't know if that's the name, NCX or NXC, but I watched him pretty much all weekend. I will try and find his channel and just give him credit because I got my idea for my supplements that I originally assumed I didn't actually need, and then I read watched his video on fertilization, and you should go watch too, because I'm going to be basing my future fertilizing off of that and learning from it, and then creating my own for my plants the way I water. He waters so many at once. I have alocasia, I have begonia, I have this, that, you know, so it's going to be a little different. But yeah, he had great insight on what all nutrients provide, and he has a bunch of others that I'm going to get. Let's just Taz, you're making a fertilizer video. Why are we talking about it right now? I'm just excited, you guys. I'm going to Miami this weekend, and I can't wait. All right, so I'm actually going to just pour it in here. But this baby is going to eat this. I'm just going to fill it halfway because that's a lot of water. Look. Like that's a lot of water. So, and she's already a little bit moist. Look at all these new roots though. Like even this one here. Yeah, I've got to tuck her leaf behind. Even this one here, like you can see where it was potted and then it started regrowing. So she's so happy, you guys, I'm telling you. Follow these steps and your queens will be so happy, I promise, okay? Let's take a second to look at the other queens I showed before. Let me put her back. I love you. Thank you for doing such a good job. Don't judge me for talking to my plants. All right, let's get rid of this thing. All right, we have this beautiful baby. Now, because I just made this nutrient solution, I'm going to dump this part out. And there's a free root on the top that's not covered. I'm going to cover it. I'm actually going to give it of our new nutrient solution just a tiny bit, just so I can get that food from it, because we don't have a lot to work with in the pot. I wasn't showing you, but and then I'll just give it a little bit here, only a little bit because it's already completely moist in here. And I'm going away to Miami in a couple days, so I need to give it a lot of water before I leave, because my husband is not to be trusted. No offense to him, I love him, but I don't know that I can trust. I don't know that I can trust him. This one I probably won't need to fill up again if I do it right now, but this is the other one that I shared. Same situation. I'm gonna have to figure out a new planter for him when I get back, because that inner stem here is not gonna, he needs to be more upright. But he has a root trying to grow out. It's just, he's a hot mess. I don't see roots on this one either, but I am gonna give it a little bit of this nutrient solution here, and then just leave him like that, and then he should be good by the time I get back. That's too much anyways. So queens are just, they're beautiful. Once you get them figured out, they are probably my easiest anthuriums right now. Which, when I say that to some people, they're like, are you crazy? What do you mean? They're not easy. No, they are. If you know, they just like certain things. They just like certain easy things to be done to them. But anyways, I'm going to head out. I am going to Miami, so let me know if you guys are going to be there. I'm going to post to my community area the shirts that we're going to be wearing. If you're there, come say hi. We would love that, or I would love that. I don't think they know, all my friends. So yeah, if you're going, let me know. I would love to meet some of you. That would be so fun. And yeah, hopefully this was helpful and a little bit informative. It was a little all over the place, I know. I will have a video soon, kind of really wrapping it up and kind of putting it together of nutrients and light, humidity, all of these things. But like I said, I want to get the facts right first. So everyone have a great day. Have a lovely rest of your week, and I will see you soon. Duncan. Duncan. Mama.